Sometimes the stories that worry fans the most start with silence. And that's exactly what happened when the internet suddenly erupted with concern over Dolly Parton. A wave of rumours claiming she was slowing down, stepping back, or quietly dealing with something she didn't want the world to see. And for a moment, nobody knew what to believe. But then Miley Cyrus stepped forward. And the update she gave about her godmother didn't just calm the chaos, it revealed something far more personal, and honestly something a lot of people didn't expect. Because this wasn't a dramatic confession, it wasn't a medical announcement, it was something more subtle, more human, and surprisingly emotional. And once Miley started speaking, the entire narrative shifted. The concern didn't come out of nowhere. Over the last year, fans noticed Dolly appearing less often. She skipped a few appearances she'd normally be front and center for. A couple of projects were announced through her team rather than Dolly herself. And that tiny change in routine was enough to send the internet into a full spiral. Some tabloids started pushing unverified claims that Dolly had been slowing down. Others suggested she was quietly dealing with age-related issues she didn't want public. None of it had real evidence. But that never stops the rumor mill. And as posts spread across TikTok and fan forums, the worry grew louder. Miley saw it, and she wasn't about to let it get out of hand. Miley finally broke her silence in an interview, and the moment her name and Dolly's appeared in the same sentence, fans locked in instantly. Her tone wasn't dramatic, it wasn't defensive, it was protective, like someone who knew the real story and was tired of watching people twist it. She shut down the wild theories immediately. According to Miley, Dolly wasn't fading away or dealing with some hidden crisis. She was busy, she was working, she was choosing what mattered. And Miley made it clear that if anything serious were happening, she would never let the public find out from rumors. But Miley didn't stop at correcting misinformation. She wanted people to understand the truth behind Dolly's shift, a truth that had nothing to do with illness. When Miley talked about Dolly's well-being, she didn't use dramatic language. She described something simple. Dolly has been taking better care of herself, not because something is wrong, but because she finally has the right to slow down whenever she wants. Miley explained that Dolly prefers to stay out of the spotlight more, not because she can't handle it, but because she's earned peace. She's still healthy, she's still happy, and she still works every single day, just in a different rhythm. Fans felt relieved hearing Miley talk about Dolly with so much confidence, but that relief also sparked a new curiosity. If everything is fine, why aren't we seeing Dolly as much? And that question opened the door to the next wave of theories. Before Miley spoke, viral posts had been circulating claiming Dolly had serious health problems she was hiding. These claims had zero solid sources, but they spread fast. And for people who grew up with Dolly, any hint of danger felt personal. Miley called the rumors exactly what they were, false. She didn't sugarcoat the situation. She said Dolly was still sharp, still active, still in full control of her life and work. And she made it clear, Dolly hasn't disappeared, she's just living differently. Reports suggested Dolly wants more privacy as she gets older, not because anything bad happened, but because she likes choosing calm over chaos. According to Miley, Dolly is the kind of person who can't be slowed down by anything except her own choices. But Miley also hinted at something deeper, something fans weren't expecting. For decades, Dolly worked nonstop, writing music, touring, acting, running businesses, expanding charities, building her empire brick by brick. She lived life at a pace most people couldn't keep up with. But recently, she's been choosing her projects more carefully. No more world tours, no more exhausting schedules, no more constant travel. And instead of seeing this as a healthy shift, fans assumed the worst. Miley explained that this change isn't a warning sign, it's intentional. Dolly wants room to breathe, room to enjoy the life she built, and room to work on the things she loves without burning herself out. She's been focusing on behind-the-scenes projects, creative partnerships, and charitable work instead of public appearances. It wasn't a slowdown, it was a transition. And then Miley dropped the line that calmed nearly everyone who had been worrying. Miley said Dolly is thriving, not hanging on, not struggling, thriving. She talked about Dolly's creativity still being unstoppable, writing songs, developing ideas, running projects with the same fire she had years ago. She said Dolly still has her spark, her humour, her energy, everything that makes her who she is. And then Miley shared something more personal, a moment that made it clear Dolly is still the force of nature she's always been. She talked about Dolly's laugh, that loud, iconic, unmistakably Dolly laugh, saying it's still the same, still full of life. That small detail meant more to fans than anything else, because laughs don't lie. But the real meaning behind Miley's message wasn't just reassurance, it was something many fans had overlooked. What Miley really wanted to say was simple. Dolly deserves privacy. She deserves to choose when she appears, what she shares, and what she keeps for herself. And Miley made it clear that people shouldn't jump to the worst conclusion every time Dolly steps back from a camera. This wasn't about fear, it was about respect. Dolly spent decades giving the world everything, her music, her energy, her time. Now she finally gets to decide how much she wants to give. And Miley is protecting her godmother the same way Dolly protected her when she was a kid navigating fame for the first time. This update wasn't a warning, it was a boundary. Miley's update didn't come with drama, fear, or mystery. It came with honesty. She wanted fans to know Dolly is okay, genuinely okay, and that the change people are seeing isn't a sign of decline, it's a sign of evolution. Dolly Parton isn't stepping away from life. She's choosing how she wants to live it. She's working, she's dreaming, she's planning, she's laughing. And according to Miley, she's doing it all with the same fire she's always had. And maybe that's the real message here. Dolly isn't slowing down. She's simply living on her own terms. And honestly, she's earned that more than anyone.